And we're live. Again. Let's check for sound. Hang on. Like we didn't have any sound. Sound test, test, test. Good, we got it. Gonna clean up here a little bit. Wait for a few people to show up. Don't know who's coming. It's the middle of the day. Hey, we got two people. Who's here? Hey, Larry. Yeah, actually, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking of actually doing the port work on the 394 later. I don't need the ignition to do that, and I don't need the that rubber bumper, so we can certainly do some port work later. Anything interesting you're finding on your 394? Oh, and Larry, check this out. Guess what that is? Same problem. Only this time we have a bottom end issue, I think. Yeah, which way are you going with the muffler? Yeah, 288 deflector is pretty typical. Don't put it too low. If you put it low, then the chain runs into it. If you're interested in deflectors, and you don't mind welding them on, I like the Red 97 deflectors, which are just stamped metal and you MIG weld it on, assuming you don't want a screen. If you want a screen, then that 288 deflector is the ticket, but they're pricey. All right, let's start filling here. Taking this cover off was easy, just a few screws, and now I got to lift this off. I think we're gonna do a fairly thorough teardown on this. Yeah, pricey, $28. Just like a clutch, it's a left-hand thread. There we go. Spin it off. those to the side. Actually, this is cool. Really kind of a cool way of working together. Three screws, T27. They feel like wood screws. Oh shoot, that holds the whole thing. Ugh. Hang on, maybe I should have pulled the AV mounts first. Yikes. AV mounts. One up here. One here. Oh, the whole motor friggin' pulls out. Great. Larry, remind me not to do those screws first. Okay, those three screws there, don't do those first. Lower front. By the last one, I'm going to be really good at this. Those are the AV mount screws. AV mount screws. I think. I took the screw out of you. Why are you not going? Well, it's designed to not fall apart, that's for sure. Two ignition coil wires. Let's do those. Okay, so ignition coil wires first, then AV mount screws. Doing this completely backwards. Ignition coil wires come across here. There we go, that's better. First tuck in here. So now we can take this away and clean that. Right about now, this sort of stuff certainly feels like it's never going back together. Larry, you ever get that sense? You're convinced I'm never getting this back together? Something doesn't feel right in the bottom end. So let's undo the carburetor. Really messed the whole thing up here. let's undo the gas tank here. By the way, the other blower runs great. Just pulling the gas lines off. Actually, this is the purge line at this point. $10 says this is clogged like crazy. That's a different setup. Interesting. Okay, fuel lines are off. Now I just need to worry about this throttle cable. Which I should have removed earlier. But whatever. There we go. Don't know why that was so annoying. That's an interesting looking gas tank, huh? Here's your bottom end. Put this aside and clean it a bit. Or not, maybe throw it to the curb. Sure, Larry, I just don't want to give it on here. You want to send me a message through, you want to email me? Yeah, something doesn't feel right in here. Let's take the ignition coil off. And confirm that it's not the ignition coil messing us up. Looks like some little type of bracket here. Still, it does not feel smooth. Doesn't feel like the bearings are gone, just doesn't feel smooth. Weird. It's just clamshell, so I'll do. Let's take those off. 2 8mm nuts. Three people watching. Who's here? Carburetor needs to be cleaned. Looks like some funny intake baffle or something. Well, something doesn't feel right here in the lower end, Larry, so I don't know what the deal here is. It's stepped and crunchy. So maybe it's the top end and not the bottom end, but either way, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Maybe take the flywheel off. Go. And we have a cast-in keyway. Now we'll pull the 3 screws here holding the shroud on here. Just so we don't lose those. Take the intake off. Probably don't have to, but we'll do it. Piston looks okay. It's a little funny on this side, but I still see the machine marks. A little bit of blow by. It just isn't smooth, Larry. It feels like it's hitting on something. Clunk. I gotta open it. Gotta see what that is. And if something came loose on the top end, then simple, I'll just replace the top end, you know? Which we have extra of. Pretty tight. Now this does look like it is clamshell style. So I don't know what's going to fall apart here. Oh. Ugh. Pieces. The top end looks like it's okay. There are metal pieces in the bottom end here. Oh, shoot, this comes apart. Okay. Ah. Everybody see the pieces? What is that? That handle there is to the PTO side. Okay, it looks like I cannot get this off. That ring's stuck. No, the rings are not stuck. Minimal damage to the piston. Seals are probably pieces again. Seals are probably okay. This looks like it's sealed with Durco. Lost a bearing cage. Check that out. Hey, David. Sure, a live event during work. Why not, Ken? Check that. Larry, have you ever seen that? It looks like a bearing cage went. The other bearing's okay. Seals are fine. Somebody was a little overzealous with the Durco. Looks like I just need new bearings. These are 6201s. And they say China. Metal cage. Actually, I wonder if I can even pull these darn things off with my bearing puller. That's going to be an adventure. Is it worth it? Is it even worth it to do this? Probably not, right? Which is why we're here. Because only I do stuff like this. I guess it's not just me. Yeah, guys, just so for the guys that are here, I'm probably going to do some port work later this evening on the 394. I think we'll spend this evening doing that. For now, I got to figure out how to get this darn piston off. There's a circlip in there. I see that one. Oh, it's a one-sided circlip. Larry, what do I do? Only if I'm having fun. Yeah. What else have I got to do? Can I even get this out? I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, it looks like it moves. Okay. Well, I bent the hell out of the clip, but it's going to come out. So I need some 200T circlips. And now these. Trying to find a punch here. Need 3 hands. There we go. Ken, I'm going to blame you for whatever I want to blame you for. It's my party, and I get to cry if I want to, right? Boy, that's tiny. That is tiny. I bet that's 8mm. Let's see. Yep, 796. 797. So 8mm wrist pin. Cute. But that's not what I was interested in. What I'm interested in, so just as video logging here, looks like a significant amount of sealer was on here. What do I need? Ooh, don't lose that. I bet that's pricey. Leslie Gore. Oh yeah. I think I was saying that. Running out of Kleenexes. I don't think I have any 6201s in stock. So I gotta order those. Looks like I have to order seals too. I'd say the next thing to do is try to figure out how to pull the bearings off. Just as a little recap, guys, this is the first thing that I found. So Larry was right again. The screen here is completely plugged, but we have a bearing issue. The whole thing ate a cage. So let's see if I can get out the bearing puller and get this taken off. First, I'll clean all this stuff up. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with reusing the piston. There's some scuff marks on it, but other than that, I think it'll go. Just installing that darn circlip is going to be a pain in the butt. Table upgrade. Yeah, Nikki, I upgraded the table. Pull off the OD. If it separates, cut off the end race. That's one way to do it. That would be tough on this. So I'm going to use my bearing puller instead. I think it'll be okay. What I should do is get a list going though. Bg86. Circlips, I need seals, 6201 bearings. What else do I need on here? Any other thoughts of stuff that I need while I'm pulling this apart? Hey, Leonard. Yeah, this is clamshell. have my ultrasonic now, so I can clean all this stuff in the ultrasonic. Yeah, let's see if we can clear all this stuff out. Yeah, getting this all back together. How am I ever going to remember where all this stuff went? No idea. Clip, clean all this up, and break out the bearing puller and see what we can do. Of course, sometimes with this stuff, it's just easier to get a part on eBay like a crank and just throw new bearings on, but and then throw this crank back on eBay and be like, hey, sweet, check it out, a crank, perfectly good. Take off the bearings yourself. Yeah, Larry, usually what I charge to mill a deck, I don't know, like $50. Takes about an hour to set up. It only takes 2 seconds to mill it, but the setup is like an hour. Problem is the shipping back and forth. That's the thing. Sorry guys, my mind is all over the place today. Very disorganized. Yeah, the nice thing about doing it in the Bridgeport, I mean, you can just kind of set it wherever you want it. And you're not thinning out the base of the cylinder. Now, for some saws, that's a problem. For other saws, it's not. So it just really depends on what you're going for. I'm a little more comfortable with the Bridgeport decking it than I am with the lathe, but once you do what you do, the whole, I mean, if something goes wrong, the whole thing's shot, you know? No, I have a carbide end mill. I have a really nice carbide end mill that works brilliantly. I think we can get it flatter than, you know, than stock technically, but it's really nice surface that ends up on the case there. Okay, so where's my bearing pullers? Here we go. I do like my Harbor Freight set of bearing pullers. They work pretty well. As long as you can get it kind of really grabbing the bearing good, it'll go. And if you don't get it grabbing the bearing good, simple. Grind it so it does grab. Grind the bearing so it does grab. Grind the puller if you got to, and they're cheap pullers. There's nothing sacred about them, you know. Everybody see this okay? Yeah. Where am I located at? My house is in Farmington, Connecticut. The Bridgeport is at my folks' house. About 50 miles away. Really a different town. So, but I have access to it. I just not there all the time. Takes a little bit to set up this, but once you got it, works good. I love my ratcheting wrenches. I don't know about you guys, but man, I really love these things. Of course. Here, I'll get the lineman's pliers out just to piss somebody off. That's pretty tight. Of course, I'm off center a little bit. That's not good. Five-eighths. There we go. So you can look at it and be like, yeah, it slipped up or whatever. So it did slip a little bit up. more. Do you need heat? No, but I'm going to use it. Try not to heat the crank, just the inner race if you can, but basically impossible. Where did my wrench go? Put stuff down, you know? Here it is. Damn. Well, it ain't grabbing. Yeah, if something's buggered, I just grind on the ways here. Make it whatever shape you need it to be. But it's got to grip under the bearing so it actually has something to pull to, you know? The bottom has to be flat, almost sharp. See if I can get that to grip now. Sure looks like it's gripping. More heat. Here we go. Where'd my heat go? Where's my heat? Hi, Mickey, Sweden. How are you? Come on. That moved. Ugh. So yes, I do have a bunch of every size. Yeah, that's the next thing is I gotta notch the bearing, David. If this doesn't work, this go, I'll notch it. Some of them are hard. This is definitely one of the harder ones. Some of them are hard to get. It looks like it's grabbed. It really does. Yes, it actually lifted a little bit. It lifted just a little bit. So then it'll be easier to get this under. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it slipped. Let's see. Come on. Ta-da! Here we go. A lot of pain in the neck. There it is. Okay. Flip her over. Gotta do it again. The other side should be easier because the bearing's lifted a bit. It's not super tight against the lobe. Oh no. Oh, I know how to fix it. I was going to say, run into the issue of we need longer standoffs. No big deal. Taller standoffs. It's grabbing, but now this thing moved. I don't like that. This one's already coming. Look at that. So some are easy, some are hard. Hey, Jibbit. I missed a comment. How are you? Oh, dear. Okay. Crap. I have to toss the crank. All that work for nothing. Great. I don't know if you can see it, but there are lines vertically up the crank. There must have been debris on the inside of the bearing or whatever that dragged. And it dragged and put a notch in the crank. There's really no way to recover that. So I guess I need a crank. There's also a line in here too. I don't know where that's from. I've never seen that happen to a crank before. I mean, that was a hard bearing to pull off, no question, but that's kind of new on me. The issue is the notches that are here are right on the area where the seal goes, so it's not going to seal, which means now you have an automatic air leak, and or you wear out the seal instantly. Again, you have an automatic air leak. Well, that was a cool exercise in academia. Stone it. No, this is gouged, Ken. It's gouged. If I thought this was recoverable, I'd take it on the lathe and spin it, but I don't think so. And it's not just one mark; it's a bunch of them. I'm sure I could find one on eBay for pretty cheap. How's the muffler look, Larry? My bench is back. Missed it. Man, that's really crappy. Well, where's the other one? We got another one. My list. Crank. So yeah, there's a third one here. do you want to bet about the muffler here? Yeah, Ken, it's on this. It's on the seal surface. Check that muffler screen out. Looks nice. No trouble there. Yuck. That's kind of dirty. Alright, so let's pull. I want to look at the muffler and see how the piston looks. Ten people here. All to watch me work on blowers. Pretty gunked up. Yikes. I don't actually have a box for this, so I'm not going to tear this down all the way. I want to get the other one rebuilt before I take this one down, but I do want to see the piston. A little on the loose side, actually. Looks pretty good, but definitely all carboned up. Like the actual outlet is tiny compared to how it should be. Later, David. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how carboned up that is. So ideally I need to take the cylinder head off this and clean that all out. So this is a teardown also. New rings possibly? Might be a good idea. Probably new rings in this thing would be a good idea. Let's get that here on the list. Maybe a new carburetor. Yikes. Rings, carb. Okay. So nothing else exciting until later. We'll do some port work. I'm gonna go relax a little bit before the kids get home. We can definitely fiddle around with porting that 394. I think that'd be fun. I guess I'll go look for parts. Questions, comments, anything, guys? Yeah, it's gonna be fun looking for parts for sure. Jeepers. So, all right, I will catch you guys later. I'll probably come on later. That 394 is gonna be pretty interesting, I think. Should be interesting to see where it's at and see what we can do to it. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.